Hey, what you guys are about to see is actually a teaching that I gave to the Elevation Church student organization at UNC Charlotte. I decided to put it up on the website for the people who weren't able to make it out to that meeting, but also for other people who are members of the website and who watch my other material. I decided to put it out on here as well so that you guys could get a little taste of what I was teaching the other members and the officer positions of the organization. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's something that is based off of my favorite verse, so I loved it a whole lot. I hope you guys will love it as well. You guys have a great day, and I will see you guys all for the next leadership teaching. Bye. So are all you guys familiar with Proverbs 27:17?
See.
If you are not, the verse Proverbs 27:17 is my favorite verse and is actually the theme for my theme word for the year. And so the verse is, as iron sharpens iron, one man shall sharpen another. And so that has been like the word that I picked at the beginning of the year. You know how like Elevation loves to do that stuff. So that was my word for this year. And so whether that's like me being sharpened by other people or me having the blessing to sharpen other people, whatever that looks like, you know, I've been trying to be sharpened and sharpen other people this year. So I thought it was appropriate to start our first officer teaching as the title of Start with Sharpen. And so pretty much with that, we exist to sharpen one another. And now this is speaking on a bigger level than just the organization itself. Like we as people exist to sharpen one another. If we aren't sharpening one another, helping one another grow, helping to support one another, then like really what are we doing? And so along with that, sharpening can't happen alone. You can't have like a knife that tries to sharpen itself. That just doesn't work. The verse says, as iron sharpens iron, not as iron sharpens itself. So whether that's through the form of a leader, whether that's through the form of a peer, whether that's through the form of an accountability partner, you know, whatever that looks like we cannot sharpen ourselves alone. And so the way that we go about sharpening people is we compliment people so that they can, for lack of a better analogy, so that they can cut things better, right? We want to be able to be the piece of iron that sharpens them and then have them be the piece of iron that sharpens us in different areas of our life. You know, we all have different strengths, we all have different weaknesses. In the organization, we all play different roles. And so, for example, me being the president, any way that I can help you guys out is a way that allows me to be able to have you guys be more sharp at your tasks. And vice versa, you know, with one another, there's going to be a lot of interaction between the different officer positions, and so the better that we're able to sharpen one another, the more effectively things are going to be able to run. And so just knowing where your role is to sharpen and where your role is to be sharpened, knowing that and like consciously thinking about it is going to help so much when we're going into trying to plan events, when we're going into trying to figure out what stuff do we put on social media, and who do we talk to for this, what do we do for that. You know, think about, are you supposed to be sharpening or are you supposed to be being sharpened right now? And so communication between one another, the way that we talk, the way that we act, the way that we behave, the way we interact with one another is our sharpest weapon as an organization. You know, we as the 8 people really who make everything happen in the organization, if we start to falter, then so does everything else. You know, like we are that base that is supporting everything that goes up above. So yeah, that has a little bit of pressure to it, but also it's not our job to carry that weight. You know, we are all carrying it together. It's not like just because I'm president, it all falls on my shoulders. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be working my butt off to make sure that everything goes right and that everything goes to as good of a plan as we can create and as good of a plan as we can set. But not everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to, and not everything is going to go the way that we intend, but for us being able to be sharp and stay sharp is how we're going to start cutting things down and start to pop up. You know, we see a little bit of growth that's not supposed to be happening, but we just cut it down. And like, I don't know. These analogies sound better in my mind because I'm like picturing them as I'm saying them. I'm just not getting them. And so when we sharpen one another, Pastor Stephen was talking about a couple weeks ago, it's by serving other people that you find the true purpose of what's happening, right? And so sharpening is a position of serving, right? When we are able to sharpen one another, when we are able to sharpen other people, whether it be people who are above us, same level as us, below us, you know, in whatever aspect that looks like, when we are willing and able to sharpen and both be sharpened, like, we are in a position of service. And so that's where the purpose really starts to carry through, because just having that mindset of sharpening is what's going to be able to push us to the next level. It's what's going to push us to be more effective. It's what's going to push us beyond what we can do at this moment, you know. So if we start with sharpening, if we start with sharpening others as opposed to selecting the outcome for what happens, we're able to accomplish more as a team. Now, to go deeper into that, what I mean is a while ago, maybe like 7 or 8 months ago, in one of the leadership meetings, LB said, you just need to go up to like 5 people today and say, how can I help you? How can I make your day easier? How can I help you make things run more smooth? And so we need to have that same mindset when we're helping one another out, right? It's not about what you need to get done, what needs to happen, because everybody has stuff that needs to get done, that needs to happen. So if we approach one another with the mindset of not, this is all for me, but like, what can we do for one another? How can I help you while you're helping me? You know, just make it so that nobody gets really offended because they're just like, oh my gosh, this person just keeps bringing stuff to me and they don't do anything to help me out, and they just ask me to do all this and this and this and this, and then we have gossip going around, and then it becomes ineffective because people get mad and people get petty, and you know, it doesn't end up going good, and it doesn't work good. So being able to approach one another with a humbleness of, I'm not the only person who needs to get something done right now, like, that's going to be really effective as we go and start to do the things that we need to. And then finally, the way that we sharpen one another sets the tone for how the rest of the organization sharpens one another as well. You know, if people outside of our 8 officers see that we're invested in sharpening others and being sharpened by others, you know, that willingness to learn, that willingness to improve, that like mindset of, yeah, I'm doing good here, but like, what's something that I can do to make it better? You know, that mindset of constant evaluation, constant movement in a positive direction. The more that people see that from us, the more it's going to start trickling down through the rest of the organization.